Cantu hits a ground ball to second base. And now Punto had just come out of the game. So Alessandro Valio is playing second base. This kid was so nervous when the ball got hit to him. The ball caught him. And thank God it caught him because I was already at the pitcher's mound from the dugout. Go watch the clip of this, Grilli. I tackled you. I was like the first one out there. And the ball still being thrown to first. So if he had thrown it in the shitter, we'd have been screwed.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, hump day, another Mound Visit, and we're doing it Italian style. We got plenty of olive oil and good hairdos coming at you live. We got plenty of good guests coming in, even a special treat from a legend that we'll be featuring later in the show. But right now, I got one of my friends and business partners and Italian legend, Massimiliano Geri. I know his name. I can't say it too Italian.
No, you say everything right except for the legend, but whatever.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
I love it.
From his car in Livorno, we're bringing some Italian 6 hours ahead. What's going on, Masi? Thanks for joining Mound Visit.
Yeah, everything is good. Can't wait to see the Team Italy trying to beat Japan, but it's gonna be hard. Sushi time, I think. So right now I'm in Tuscany. That's where I live, and right now in Grosseto, which is a great baseball city actually. So it's where Marco Mazzieri is from, former Team Italy manager. So
wow. Okay.
If you want, I can drive to his house and see if he can join this show.
That'd be awesome. That would be a legendary thing. You could do that.
You know that I can call you and go right now, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, listen, it's awesome. We wanted to bring the spirit of what's going on, the WBC. We've been talking about it a little bit on our show. We got a few of my old Italian teammates who has played for Team Italy. I even rocked out as much blue as I could today. Even got this hat just cutting off my brain circulation. I think I need a new one. It's vintage. It was a 7 3/8.
Yeah.
I think it's about 7 1/8 from the sweat and tears that have been in it. But we're like, what's the spirit over there? I know baseball is not the predominant sport, but what's the energy and the spirit? Is people really getting into baseball more and really celebrating what they did against Cuba and where they're advancing to the next round?
Well, actually, everybody like in the baseball movement are super excited because we didn't expect to beat Cuba in the first game, and was one of those games that you want to live enough to see it here in Italy, and we expect. Well, I expected to beat Holland, Netherlands, whatever you want to call it, and it was exciting that we the pool of chaos hit right in the face, like everybody hand up 2 wins and 2 loss, and then we passed and we won the round to head to Japan by that crazy mathematical rules that they have, and unbelievable. You need to be Einstein to calculate how if you want to win that pool, but we were excited that we're right now facing. Actually, I think that Japan really wants to pass the turn, so that's why they choose Otani to pitch against Team Italy. And they announced yesterday, today, I think this morning. I don't know. So right now we're taking seriously. They're treating us like big leaguers. I know that baseball, as you said, is not the main sport, but actually the papers, the social media start talking more. And we've discovered that some famous singer in Italy was a former baseball player, and he was crying when we beat Netherlands. And he make a post 2 days ago. He say, I know that nobody gives a fuck about that, but that Italy can play baseball. And I was a baseball player, and I watched Team Italy beat Holland, our enemies for a long time. So we're all excited about that. You know,
So I feel like this segment we should have a big charcuterie board here with some delicious cheese and sweaty meats.
Some cannolis.
Yeah, some canola. Yeah,
It's
all the
great.
good stuff. You know, it's funny.
a lot of cheese, Jason.
I'm looking at Pool A here, and I'm looking at Italy. And I haven't studied these teams as much as Casey has. He's ran through the whole list of rosters. He knows everybody.
That's right.
But I got to be honest, man. This group, I think Italy was placed well in this group.
They were in a good group,
right?
To make
this
it out.
seems
Absolutely.
like, I mean, and it shows actually by the standings. Everyone's 2-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this was actually a very competitive group. And so what? Italy wins. They're in. Is that basically the?
They're
the
already
story?
in the next round.
They're in.
Oh yeah. So
Okay,
they got,
so
like
there
you
you
said,
go.
they got Japan in this next round. So it's gonna be a tough
They
game.
play
but
against Japan tomorrow morning
Yep.
here in
Okay.
Italy. So yeah, we all. I think that everybody gonna drop off the work and watch the game. Trust me.
So
Yeah.
I know is
And
it.
you know, it's a good excuse to not work in Italy.
I was gonna
Everybody,
say, do you
know,
think people will get some of that day off to go and check out the game?
there's gonna be a lot of delays in shipping and post office, everything. You know, everything is slow here, and Jason knows because I show him. But tomorrow we're gonna stop doing things. Trust me. I
Listen,
take my
it's
morning off to watch the
already
game.
slow. The pace of Italy is already slow. When you go over there, that's why we Americans we like to slow down when we go over there, appreciate life. So if you
I can
slower
show you
over
the
there,
I can show you the rush time in Grosseto at lunchtime right now. That's what's going on. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that yeah, but actually it's pretty exciting. You know, it's not something that you see every day. I saw Italy play against Japan in the World Cup in '98. I was 13 and I was in Nettuno and watching live. I remember clearly watching the defense doing the pregame without the ball, like with a golf ball,
Yeah.
and that was mesmerizing. And I can believe that right now we're playing against them at the World Baseball Classic with former big leaguers or minor leaguers or top prospect like Lopez. Come on, Lopez is eating everything right now, and we have Andre Palantri is throwing 99 on the gun, the first Italian American that throws really hard except Jason. You know, and you know, we're glad. We're super glad that to have all those guys. And I think that that's the pro, like a result of the Mission Classic, how they call it, because they brought all the guys here in Italy for a couple of weeks, having tour of their culture, meeting their former parents or their grandparents or some relatives here, eating a lot, taking very easy, as Jason knows, and then having some showcase for kids and having preparation, and then move to U.S. To prepare for the classic. That's something that changed the team. You know, maybe in the past classic that there were more superstars, but there were also more Italians. So it was like something very fair. Right now, there are just like how many 60 real Italians. I mean, not talking not in a bad way, but I'm thinking that people that actually played in our leagues.
yeah.
So I just remember facing Robert Garcia when he was nobody, and I remember because we played double headers in Syria, and I call him after the first game. I say, "What the fuck are you doing in Italy?"
Well, hey,
He
let me
said,
let me say this. Let me say this. What people may not know is Masi is also the president of the Italian Union that he helped form, and he brought me into that to do that. But he also plays in the league, so he's a 37-year-old, strapping pitcher here.
38.
Oh, he turned 38. Sorry, my bad. They're 30. I don't want to age you too much.
I look younger because I'm, from Italy, but
It's good olive oil. You got good olive oil intake over there. But no, it's
exactly.
I know the closer
And
you get to
and
40,
good wine.
push you out of the baseball, dude. When I hit 40, that's when I was done. So I'm trying to keep you in the game as long as possible. That uniform, as I always say, as long as possible. Tell me what the influence of. Do you feel the league is getting stronger over there? I know you guys tell the people that may not know, because some guys that get cut in professional baseball here have an opportunity to go play in Italy, even if they want to play another year, which is an amazing thing because for us, we play every day. You guys play on the weekends and you train all week, which is unbelievable to me. What people don't know when I started learning about Italian culture and Italian baseball is you guys work all day, then you go train for baseball, and then you play on the weekends. You got to be exhausted, but yet you guys get up and you get to go face Miguel Cabreras and all this, and you get up. And I remember the one WBC that I remember the most, where I saw guys who were in the Italian leagues that played their hearts and souls out, was the Toronto one in 2009 in Toronto. And just to see guys ball out and have that major league experience, it was incredible. So tell us how the culture of maybe some kids that know that they're not going to play professional soccer or they're basketball, are they looking at baseball a little bit harder with all this going on? I mean, that's the purpose of the WBC.
Well, actually, as you said, we play in the weekends. The leagues have been changed during these years. I've played. This is going to be in my 32nd season.
Wow.
So I saw a lot, but I'm not. There are people that saw better baseball than me. Of course, back in the 80s, 90s, that was like I think our top, level. But right now, we have basically three leagues: Serie A, which is our big league. We have Serie B, which is Triple A, whatever you want to call it, and then we have Serie C, and we have almost 80 team in the Serie C, just so you know. And we have 30 or 28 actually team in the Serie A. But the Serie A, the actual Serie A, it's something that came out from the COVID and the pandemic, because actually we have a Serie A of 10 teams. Then they decided to unify A1 and A2 in just one league to limit the movement between cities and to let everybody play more just for a couple of years. Then start back with the old. Look at who's coming here.
Oh, another great joined us.
Oh, that guy actually knows a lot about the Italian Serie A, more than everybody here.
Well, let's
He plays here.
welcome Chris Colabello, former Blue Jay, Minnesota Twin, fellow Guido. He's rocking some blue for us today. Thanks for coming on here real quick with us, Chris.
Listen, I got the 411. I was on the phone till 3 a.m. with Team Italy. I got DiNardo coming on. Jeez Louise.
Wow,
this
look
is
at
how I
this.
kept Lenny.
What's up, Lenny?
He lives 37
What's
minutes
happening?
away from me, and I got to see Lenny DiNardo on your podcast. I've been trying to have lunch with Lenny DiNardo for a minute.
Well, you're welcome. This is how Team Guido does it. We got to get a good spread table.
Hey, listen.
If nothing else, we have the best spread table in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
Lenny,
I brought home some Parmesan. I was just over in Italy. I got the 411 from Team Italy I was on the phone with him till 3 in the morning. I was talking to Frelick, Mineo, and Massi Baldi. He was giving a massage while he answered the phone. And I said, listen, boys. I said, I told Sal, he's a local kid. I said, Sal, I'm going to need you to ambush Ohtani tomorrow and, get this thing off on the right foot. Let's go.
Oh, man.
I love it.
All right, Grilli, you got to introduce our
nice
next
to
guest,
see
too.
everybody.
We got three new guests on here. You introduced Chris and Mossy. Introduce Lenny here for the people watching.
Lenny, you were what WBCs? We got legendary Boston Red Sox left-hander Lenny DiNardo. The last name should tell you that he is Italian as well. And I love that you're rocking. You pulled out one of the vintage. Yep.
Look at that.
What year was that from?
I was on the 6 and the 9 team. This looks like this is the 09 version.
Okay, that was a Toronto trip, dude. That was a big one right there for us.
Yeah, I sport this thing all the time. I've got another kind of, I don't know. The stuff's old, but it still fits. So
well, that's why
I'm good.
Well, I tried to pull out a hat and it doesn't fit. I squeezed it on my head. The hat shrink or my head got bigger. One of the two. But no, it's cool that we got some. It's cool to support what's going on. It's amazing where it's come, the excitement. That's what we were talking about. Where this has gone and the excitement. I know we're all cheering for our fellow Italians. And what do you see, Lenny? Just tell us your experience and what you believe is happening in the game. And it's what just WBC's getting even more momentum. It's great tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of watching from a peripheral. My schedule right now is crazy. Last night I got home probably 9:00, and I'm leaving early today after my wife's appointment. But it's fun. I'm so glad Italy made it. They beat Cuba. They beat the Netherlands. They're playing a tough team in Japan tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. But who knows? This game of baseball, you can go out there, you can roll.
Yeah.
I know that more than anybody. You go out there, you roll off a few wins, you can just keep going. So I'm really proud of this club. I'm proud of what they're doing. And again, like I said, I'm watching from the sidelines. I wish I was there. I wish I was in uniform in some capacity. I would massage the players right now if I could be in Japan just to help these guys out. So,
hey, remember if you were on the 06 team, Lenny, then you remember I pulled something else vintage out. I got a recording and I had a cassette tape that one of the media reporters. Remember when they shoved us in Orlando in Wild World of Sports at Disney? They put us all in the shower and they brought in the legend Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy, yes.
Right? So I have that recording. I don't know if you've heard it. I have a recording of him talking to us. It's a 4-minute speech. Casey was going to play some of it for us at
you guys want to hear it?
But
I would love to hear it. I actually have a pretty good story kind of regarding that too. Go ahead.
Beautiful. All right, here I'll play a couple minutes of it here, and then or Lenny, do you want to give us your story first, and then we'll play the speech.
So I'm playing on the U.S. national team in college, a collegiate national team. This is probably 1999, 2000. And we are at Rod Dato's house in Huntington Beach, California. I think Mark Pryor's on the team, Ryan Howard's, a bunch of studs. I'm sitting there, and we're having a lunch. It's Team USA and Team Japan having a lunch at Rod Dato's house, legendary collegiate coach. And who walks in? Tommy Lasorda, and he gave the exact same speech that he gave to Team Italy, except he just swapped the words. Team USA and Italy. He swapped everything out.
It's a cookie cutter speech.
Every F-bomb was verbatim.
Yeah, he has a preset.
Same. So I'm sitting there in that bathroom with you, this cramped locker room bathroom, and I'm like, this is like deja vu. I've heard this. What was it? 7 years before, 6 years before. But I'm so glad you recorded that. I got to get a copy.
Yeah, I'll send you the file here. But Case, give us a little clip. I mean, he goes on about the whole Dodgers beating the A's, and they were the underdogs. And then he says, you can do anything if you just believe in winning. So
here it goes.
To hear his voice is awesome.
All right, here we go, guys.
Because I've always lived under this feeling. You know, it's not always the strongest man who wins the fight. It's not always the fastest man who wins the race. And it's not always the best team who wins the game. In 1988, we played the mighty Oakland Athletics. They had won over 100 games, and they had Canseco, McGuire, Parker, Watson, Don Baylor, Carney Lansing, and I had Shelby, Danny Hughes, nobody ever heard of these guys. But you know something? We beat them in 5 games. Why? Why did we beat them guys in 5 games? The reason was we wanted it more than they did. That's the reason. And you gotta want this game more than the Venezuela team does. And if you pay the price and you play the game the way you're supposed to, like you know how to play the game, then goddamn it, you're gonna beat them. You can beat them. I don't give a shit who you play. If you believe you can beat them, when you're called upon to do things in this game today, you play for the name on the front of your shirt, not for the name on the back of your shirt. Because when you play for the name on the back of your shirt, all you are is an individual. But when you play for that name here, you're a team man. And you gotta do everything you can. You You're not going to go out there and screw up and win a game. You got to play the game to perfection. When you're asked to bunt, goddamn it, bunt. When you're asked to put the hit run on, do the job. Because if you all get on one end of a rope and pull together, you can pull that other team with you. But if half of you get on this end, the other half get on that end, you're going to knock the shit. So you got to think, you got to believe. When you walk out of here, self-confidence is without a doubt the first step to success. If you believe right now that you're going to beat their ass, then you can do it. It can be done. I'm telling you, it can be done. There's been a lot of times when the favorite is win. And it's going to be today. How bad do you want this victory today? That's the question you're going to ask yourself. And how much of a price are you willing to pay for your team today? Be proud. Italians, the greatest thing in the world.
Standing
Who
out.
recorded the conversation?
How
It
about
was a
that?
media guy. He's not done yet. He's not done. He goes on about Italy now. Watch.
Standing ovation.
You got that Italian blood. Each and every one of you got so much Italian blood. And Italians don't quit. Italians don't believe that they can win. I know one thing. I have great love for the country. Because when they asked me a number of years ago to go to Italy and teach the coaches baseball, I thought I could do it before spring training. They said, what would it cost us to bring the manager of the Dodgers to Italy for 2 weeks to teach the coaches baseball? I said, you Italian? He said, yeah. So you called me from Italy? Yeah. I said, well, Italy gave me the greatest gift that any man could ever receive. Italy gave me my father. And I want to give something back to Italy. And I did. I never took a dime from it. I want to give something back to Italy today. A victory. Because we win today, they'll be dancing in the street in Florence. They'll even be dancing in the Vatican.
That's amazing.
Chills, man.
That
That's
must have
chills.
got.
I got
How
chills.
fired up
Lenny,
were you guys after hearing that?
I'm telling you, Lenny, how small was that shower? We were in a small shower, and there were a whole
Tiny.
40, 50 guys in the coaching staff in the shower, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was extremely small. I mean, we were all bunched up together. It was like a huddle, really. We had to be in a huddle because of the space we were in. And yeah, that was a goosebump moment then. It was a goosebump moment now. It's I mean, just incredible. I wish he was alive right now to see them make it to the next level. We couldn't get there in 06 and 09. So I'm really happy for this team. I'm excited. I'm going to go take
Just needed
it
me on
to
the
this
team.
round.
That's it. They just needed me on the team. You guys saw the group text I just sent. I needed to let Costanza know. I said, best hitter in Italian history. I mean, what do you want me to do? Sorry, my bad. 2013, I show up, we go to the next round. You guys couldn't do it without me. And then, 06, he's playing indie ball. Don't put him on the team. Yeah, everybody's an idiot. What do you want me to say?
I want to ask you guys, and you guys can each answer this if you want to. And I've asked Grilli this in another episode when we were kind of previewing the World Baseball Classic. But you can just see, and people who've watched so far in this tournament have just been able to see the sense of pride that no matter what team you're playing for. I sent Grilli a tweet the other day, and it was I can't remember exactly the guy's name, but one of the Italian pitchers struck someone out to end the inning, and he came off the mound like, oh my God, he was so fired up. And you can really tell how much this means to guys. Can you talk about that from your experience and maybe what the difference was between, playing in the majors, between playing for Team Italy, what it's like to really represent your country and wear that name on the front of your jersey?
I'm going to go first. You have 6 minutes of my time left. I pushed a call for this.
Okay, go ahead.
There's something different that happens when you put an Italian uniform on. Something different happens. It's weird. All these cats are American. Half of them aren't even Italian. Frelick's my guy. Like, I love him to death. He's like the least Italian person I know. But overnight, now he's a Guide. He's like
he's using his hands when he talks. All of a sudden, he's
when you put that jersey on, something weird happens. It's part like the underdog thing where everybody's kind of counting you out because they're like, oh, you like to eat meatballs, you can't hit, you guys stink, go play soccer, and you get this like crazy idea in your head. La Sorsa, his brother-in-law is a good friend of mine. So La Sorsa called me about 3 weeks ago. He's trying to catch up, ask all these questions about baseball. He seemed like a pretty sane kid at the time. They just told me his nickname's Crazy Joe because that what's going on there is incredible. Like, he's just running around the mound, looks like he's going to slit somebody's throat / strike everybody out. It's incredible. So all these dudes that were kind of sane probably a month ago are now crazy. They're all out of their minds, just like all Italians, because they do a little bit of this and hey.
Gangs in New York coming out. But you know what? I tell you what happens, too, what people don't realize. If there's guys trying to make a team, I know in 2006, I was trying to make the Detroit Tigers roster. Getting in playoff atmosphere, like in spring training, that gets you ready faster for the season. And, you know, if you can carry that energy into making a team or into starting off the year, you guys know it. You want to get off to a good start. And sometimes it takes guys 45, 60 days to really be in top form and baseball shape, even with spring training, right? So it could help some guys.
For me, when when you put on the Italian uniform, it's similar to when our ancestors came over to the United States. We took Italy, they took Italy with them, right?
Right.
We're eating pasta every Sunday, making red sauce at 8 a.m. You're throwing garlic and peppers and onions in the pan. You're playing bocce ball with your grandpa. It's not like we came to the United States and said, okay, all that's gone. We took Italy to the United States. And when you're putting on the uniform, you're playing for the people that came over to the United States for whatever reason that was. For me, my great grandfather came over. He was probably 5 years old in 1916 with him and his mom. His dad had already passed away. So it's a sense of pride. You're playing for those folks that came over here for whatever reason. So it's special in that sense to me, just to kind of make them proud wherever they are. And as soon as you walk in the locker room and they've got the pasta and you can smell the sauce, they did that specifically for us. It's just like, I mean, how could you not go balls to the wall?
Absolutely.
Right?
No, exactly. Well, the name on the ironically, like I said, I read this baseball as just in case you've heard me say it. The thing I have with my father, you know, the baseballism says the name on the front of the jersey represents who you play for. The name on the back of the jersey represents who raised you. Do them both justice. Mm-hmm. It's the one time that the name on the back, the A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y, because there's some guys that you go, they're not Italian with, you know, Sweeney or whatever. Sometimes Y. You know, Verlander even was a candidate to be. He's got a little Italian butter. Garrett Cole, but you know, the name on the back allows you to wear the one and represent the one on the front. And for Team Italy, it's great.
Do you know you said that 17 years ago or 10 years ago in an interview after the Mexico game? I still have chills from your press conference when you said that.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you posted the call.
So
speaking of the vowels.
Yeah.
Didn't they ask Barry Zito to play? And he's like, listen, I'm not even Italian. Wasn't Zito like Croatian or something? He's like, listen, I'm not Italian.
If he had like a meatball sub or something, we could have converted him.
Yeah.
Well, that's so Italian of us to try to get anybody that's good. You know, Roger Clemens and Danny Koufax. We're just trying to bring anybody in that would help us win.
Really,
Roger Clemenza.
Really, I got a question for you. I need to know this because I don't know if you remember this. So when we beat Mexico on the way to being the best team in the history of everness, do you remember how many 3-2 pitches you had to throw George Cantu?
Yes.
How many 3-2 pitches did you have to throw for strikes? Because me and Punto were having a borderline heart attack in the dugout while this was going on.
Well, I was getting, you know, I was definitely getting squeezed because I think I was getting pretty emotional out there, which I'm emotional as it is.
No,
but again,
come on.
Heightened. It was heightened. I'm trying to remember who it was now. The umpire. I'm drawing a blank right now. one of everybody's all-time favorite MLB umpires. He
Coconut
was
Jerry.
very tight behind the plate, and
Wasn't Angel her name?
I was out there working, but I kept throwing it harder and trying to dot the mark, but we got the job done. So needless to say, it turned out okay.
This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I get off. So Punto and I are like pacing back and forth in the dugout because this is how smart we are as a baseball team. Punto led off for us, right? He led off in the ninth with a double. Let's pinch run for the leadoff hitter because that makes sense. So we pinch ran for Nicky as I think he was the tying run at the time. Or no, he was the -1 run. I can't remember. He was tying -1 run. So Rizzo then hits the double. So now Punto's in the dugout. I'm DHing. So him and I in the ninth, we're up by 1. We're walking back and forth, right? And we keep looking at each other like, damn, dude, like it's way harder to be in the dugout than it is to be out there. And Grill just decided to make it exciting. It couldn't have gone 1, 2, 3, right? You got all of that money to pitch the ninth and just be the closer and all this stuff. Let's go, dude. Just get 1, 2, 3. Get us out of here, right? It'll knock here, walk there, second and third, 1 out, 2 outs. Adrian Gonzalez gets hit with the slider. All of a sudden, it's bases loaded, right? And we're like, oh my god, like I can't believe this is happening. 3-2. I think it was like a 11, 12 pitch at bat. You gotta look this up. So finally, Cantu hits a ground ball to second base, and now Punto had just come out of the game. So Alessandro Valio is playing second base. This kid was so nervous when the ball got hit to him. The ball caught him, and thank God it caught him because I was already at the pitcher's mound from the dugout. Go watch the clip of this, Grilli. I tackled you. I was like the first one out there, and the ball still being thrown to first. So if he had thrown it in the shitter, we'd have been screwed. I would have looked like a real asshole.
Hey, listen, they only give you limited time or limited innings, especially as a pitcher. The GMs don't like this tournament because they're like, hey, this is too much stress or whatever. They don't want their players being too used too early. And so I was making the most of my opportunity to wear the Missouri blue, man, every pitch. But no, it was exciting. I love it. I love watching it. And thanks for giving the play-by-play. I don't recall like that, but that's pretty amazing that you recalled everything.
You barely remember what you had for lunch yesterday. I can remember my homer from when I was 11 in Little League. Like, I'll tell you the pitch. Like, I'll tell you the guy that threw it and what I had for dinner after.
Well,
memorable moments for me,
we screw around. We got a lot of screw around time,
I can tell you my first meeting with Lenny DiNardo. When I get around you guys, I'm like a little kid. The fact that you guys even let me tell stories around you is cool. Not that you let me. I do it myself because I don't shut up. But, like, I just think it's so cool to hang out with you guys. Like, I got Lenny DiNardo's number in my phone, and I'm, like, nervous to text him. I'm like, oh, my God.
Save it.
This is a good mound visit, boys. Getting the gang together. Chris, I know you got to jump.
I gotta go.
Thank you, bro,
Chris,
for jumping on
thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Massi, I haven't said anything to you. Oh, ciao, ci vediamo. Adesso che sei amico con Grilli non parli più con me. Ciao, va bene.
Ma tu non mi chiami, ero in America, non mi hai risposto.
See you guys. Let him tell you what I said. Bye.
He said that since I'm a friend of Jason, I'm not calling CC anymore. And I said, I call you when I was in US and you didn't pick up the phone. I was really nearby his house. And he didn't pick up the phone. But actually, I want to add one thing, because you were talking about the Italian pride. I'm the last person to talk about Team Italy, being part of Team Italy, because I never made it in my entire career. Never, not even a selection. I just had the opportunity to watch him play or whatever. And I, believe it or not, I never saw Jason play, not even Lenny. I just saw him play CC one time, and he got hit by a pitch in his nose, broken nose at the Olympic qualifier 3 years ago. So that's my experience with the Guidos. But whatever, I have no experience in that field, but actually I met all the guys for this World Baseball Classic during the Mission Classic. And I was introducing myself. I'm the president of the union. I want to know who you are, what you're doing. Do you know about the leagues? They didn't know about what's going on in Italy. But when they saw all the kids watching and chasing for autographs, they never saw a big leaguer. Or anytime Jason is coming to Italy, I say, hey, Jason, take one day and come to see my kids here, because we have a little team. And even Francisco Cervelli came, and Mike Costanzo is coming too in this summer. and I hope Lenny's coming because we're planning that in for years
We'll
right
get it
now.
done.
Yeah, I know. And actually, when I talk to them, I say, "Hey, do you know? I know that you're playing for, having a showcase or signing better contract or saying that you're representing Team Italy." And they say, "No, that changed our vision. Signing that kid, right now we have a mission. We have a weight that we want to carry on the field because we know that we're not the Team Italy. We're there just to open the road for those guys." I say that's the words that I want to hear because there are a lot of guys in Italy that will be watching the game from home, and they just hope that one day can make one pitch at the World Baseball Classic, not even the big leagues, because the way that we cheer for Team Italy for the Azzurri, it's way more blasted than going to church for us. I don't wear Team Italy jersey even if I have one because I never earned that. Just so you know.
That's
So
awesome.
Well,
that's
cut yourself
you
short,
know
boss. I mean, what you're doing to try to get the players' rights, not just for baseball, for softball, women's softball, and they even have guys. You should ask Mossy. We got to talk about the blind league. It's
we
unbelievable what Italy has, and just
yeah
trying to spread the love of the game. And thank you for taking and ambassading, what baseball is, because, like I said, soccer is king over there, and you're still grinding to get baseball known because not everybody can play soccer. There's a lot of other sports, and to get baseball to a level where we get more kids. We had one kid watching some videos after that camp. So thank you for
yeah
promoting the game as well as you
yeah
have.
we had a lot of problems like every country, but the Italians are great at making problems, and you know better. So we have we say like in my team we say that we're getting all the people that are got cut from other sports, and you got the worst cuts. So that where the players are. They are coming from soccer, they're coming from basketball, they're coming from athletics, whatever, and they were all cut from their sports.
Mm.
Like they found a spot playing baseball, and they found that it's fun. They're playing in summer. Uh, you need to wash a lot of pants from red dirt, and your mom get pissed every time during your growing up. I broke more washing machine than bats. Trust me. So and then when you find out that those guys, you invite Jason here or his father to have a small one day camp here, and then you say, well, I would love to have those guys that chasing their dreams, but I don't know if I did a great job or something, and then one of the dad of those guys send you a video of one of the kids dressed like a dragon. I remember that. And on his bed, watching the highlights from the World Baseball Classic and Toronto Blue Jays, watching Jason, and he said, "I played with him today."
Mm.
Say, well, that's what I wanted. Just so you know, that guy won the European champion with the national team at 12 years old.
That's awesome.
So
Good.
so that's the right things to do, and that's the same way when we want to spread the word about baseball, but there are a lot of problems. Even the players, there's no players right here. So we got bounded from 14 years old until you're 32. So just so you know, and 38 years old. So you sign with one team and you're basically a slave, and you didn't get paid. We don't have contracts. It's pure amateur with slavery and some pasta inside. But we play for fun. That's the difference between other countries.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anybody, but there are two professional baseball. One is USA. The Asian baseball is more about philosophy, and I love that. And then we have South American and Latin players that are playing for come out of poorness, poverty, and they're chasing things to came out of those uh, you know bad conditions. But the Italians play for fun. We play in the weekends. We work like dogs every day, and then we take our weekend from family to go to the field. A lot of barbecues, a lot of pasta, a lot of cigarettes, and you play, and
Expolissimo, it's right there.
and you smoke. We were used to smoke in the dugout back in the 90s. Woo! And that was, and those guys went to the Olympics.
Wow.
We got pitchers that had like 44,000 strikeouts in their career. We have Ruggero Bacialemani, which is the players with more presence in the national team in history, that won 14 Golden Gloves, and nobody knows that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
was three times at the
Go ahead, Elaine.
Olympics.
hey, when I was in A-ball with the Mets, David Cohn came
Go
down
Mets.
and rehabbed, and he threw, I want to say 3, maybe 4 innings rehab. He was just about ready, and he like basically just sliced through the hitters like butter, 3 up and 3 down every inning. But that reminds me, because every inning in between innings, he'd go down the tunnel and just throw down lung darts, just like
David Cohn?
the whole
No
inning. When the
way.
inning's over, he put
No
it out.
way.
He put it out, and then go deal. So
David Cohn?
maybe Coney was Italian. I don't know. Maybe there's
Wow.
something to it.
Probably.
I didn't know.
I remember this fun story from 2009 World Cup that was playing in Italy, and actually Mike Piazza has his first experience as a coach, right? So I was in the dugout, and they were playing against Canada. So Larry Walker was the manager of Team Canada, and I was on the field because I was with everybody, so we were just hanging out and say, okay, let's go play, and then I'll see you later, you know. And it was in Florence. And the next day or the day before, I don't remember, Cuba was playing against Korea, I think, or something. I don't recall. But actually, a lot of Cuban coaches, which super numbers, like Hall of Famers, used to come to our country a lot. They were employed in developing baseball back in the 90s and early 20s. So we were talking, and I was talking with Team Cuba team manager, and the starting pitcher was Pedro Lazo, which right now is Team Cuba pitching coach, like Hall of Famer, like legend, right?
Yeah.
Throws, I don't know, like 99, 120 miles per hour. I have no idea. He's tall like the Empire State Building. I just remember that he was not even warm up. He opened a bottle of rum, Cuban cigar, lights it up, finish half of the bottle, 7 innings, scoreless 7 innings, and then finish the rest of the bottle and get the fuck out of the field.
That's
Yeah.
old
You know,
school.
Who needs
Old school
Gatorade?
right there.
Who needs Powerade?
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't need
yeah.
these electrolytes anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually was the World Cup where Yulievsky Gurriel gets signed.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I
Look at
saw him
that.
play when he was nobody.
Wow.
He was watching against Team Italy. He was watching, will be missed a lot. Bill Albert, that Lenny may remember and Jason may remember. He was our pitching coach and MLB scouts for the Cubs and international scout for Europe. And he was I remember what he was watching. Bill from the other dugouts was like, "Take me away, like sign me right now. I want to go away."
Lenny,
And
that
Houston Astros actually signed him.
Lenny, that story about David Cohn has seriously still got me blown away, and it's so different now. I feel like if someone were to do that today, that would be like all over the place.
Well, yeah.
It would
I
be
mean,
such. It's
well, there's cameras everywhere.
there's
You never.
just
Oh,
the
yeah.
nutrition that they're on now. They're so tuned in. It's like,
Oh,
and it's
20
let's be, I
20
mean, it
years
wasn't
ago.
that long ago.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't that
think
long ago.
That was probably 2003. And
20
I
years
mean, back
ago.
then, you get on the team bus on the way to the airport. There's like 5 guys at the back of the bus smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
It was no big deal back
I
then.
mean, that's crazy.
And when I played in Taiwan one season toward the end of my career, it was normal there too. We had a 5th inning break in Taiwan, where it's like 5th inning, you smoke
if you got 'em.
and that was the break, right? You take 15 minutes. I'm like trying to get my tempo going. I'm trying to get deep into this game, and then 5th inning, stop, and everybody just pulls out their packs, lights up in the dugout,
Yep.
Fire heater.
and then okay, now you got to go back and warm up again.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
God.
Hey,
That's
back to that story where the kid got signed. How about that story with the Nicaraguan
Yeah.
kid?
Yeah.
He
How
came
incredible
in,
is that?
struck out
21-year-old
Machado,
kid.
Soto, and Julio Rodriguez.
Endeavors.
They signed him. And Devers, they signed him on the spot.
After the game.
Good
Wow.
for
After
him.
the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
19 years old.
Wow.
I think the was it the Marlins that signed him? Who signed him?
No,
I think it was Detroit.
Oh, it's Tigers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Tigers.
Incredible.
Well, it just shows you how instrumental this game is. It's a big commercial for MLB, and kudos for them for getting this going, because you even see there's some African catchers that's probably seen it on your Instagram or Facebook.
Yes.
Where
Oh, yeah,
there's
of course.
kids in the mud, and using tires or using like the most poverty stricken things. And we have all these tools. I
Cardboard
know
for
in the US,
gloves.
I tell my kids, right? I tell my kids, I go, look at all these tools you have. There's no excuse for you not to be better. Okay, development. It's you develop whatever you want. I always tell people, you've heard me say it. I did it in the basement of Syracuse, New York. That's what I had. Now we got AstroTurf fields and clinics and data and all this stuff and tools and all these things. If you're not using it, but it doesn't take that. It just takes that drive. Really, what it is that drive that you want.
I bet you having bullpen with Italian baseballs.
What's that?
I mean, having a bullpen with Italian baseball, you don't use every practice new baseballs. You use whatever you have to throw the ball that weighs, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds, maybe 10 pounds from the rain, and then you throw it as fast and as strong as you can, or you die or you become someone.
You rotate.
Right now is probably the hardest time to actually get signed in baseball. I mean, because everybody's geared up from 12 years old to throw harder. They're stronger. They're more athletic. So it's cutthroat. I mean, I tell the kids that I coach now, I don't even know if I would be drafted right now compared to I was drafted out of high school in 98 and again in 01. The stuff that I had back then just would not compete. It would not compete. I wasn't a hard thrower. I wasn't the prototypical guy that would get signed, right? I can't see it happening. Thank goodness I was born in 79 because I would have been on a completely different path.
But Lenny, what do you think about the speed of those guys, like European guys like Czech Republic, that strike out Ohtani with a 78 mile per hour fastball?
It shows me that speed's one thing. It'll get you signed, but it's not going to necessarily get outs on the field.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Pitching. You got to go out there and know how to pitch. Big league hitters, you ask any one of them what they want to see, and they want to see a fastball, right? But if you can place it, if you can make it move, if you can be a smart pitcher and set up the next pitch, 99 right down the middle will work if you set it up with something at the neck, the pitch before, And I think a lot of guys are getting drafted because they can throw hard. They've got golden arms, and then they're kind of saying, okay, we can teach them how to pitch. When we were younger, we had to know how to pitch, right? You had a better arm than I did. You could do a little bit of both, right? But I tell you what, back then I had to know how to pitch, or I didn't have a prayer.
I'm actually very curious to see for both of you guys, I mean, for pitchers, because this is something I've been watching as I've watched this World Baseball Classic. With this happening kind of right smack in the middle of spring training, I wonder if guys aren't maybe not fully, they're not in mid-season form.
I guess the question is, are you starting earlier because you're getting tuned up for the baseball
That was my
classic?
question. When you guys were coming in, especially as pitchers, did you guys kind of know that you had to get geared up?
You had to ramp
start
up.
Ramping up a little earlier, knowing that you were going to pitch in the classic?
Yeah, I feel like you did. If you knew you were going to play, you had to absolutely take it upon yourself to get to start your routine a little bit earlier so you can be game ready. I know with my work with the Red Sox now, Nick Pivetta showed up to camp early. He was going to be playing for Team Canada. COVID knocked that chance out for him, unfortunately. But I know he was at least 2 or 3 bullpens earlier than everybody else. He started to throw BP prior to everybody else. He was just a little bit quicker. And he got knocked back a week because of COVID, was a little bit weaker, and just decided to scrap it. He wasn't quite where he needed to be. He didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to sacrifice his season. He threw 33 games to the Red Sox last year. He didn't want to chance that, not being able to do that this year.
It's such an interesting thing, too, because I feel like, I'm paying a little bit of attention to the USA squad as well, and looking at that, that crazy lineup that they've got constructed. But then you look at their pitching staff, and it's not necessarily, obviously they've got good pitchers on that team, but it's not, the best pitchers it's not the best pitchers who could play on that team. And I wonder, as former pitchers yourselves, do you guys kind of feel that at all, where it's like, I wonder if, or what do you think about that? Is it maybe that they're trying to save their arms for the teams that are paying them right now? Or is it maybe because a lot of the guys that are, a lot of the best pitchers in the league right now, the American guys at least, are kind of in that younger tier where they've got a payday coming soon. So do you think it's maybe they're trying to,
well, like I'm thinking,
they don't want to get hit? I don't know.
I think I know what you're saying, because all the best players play in FIFA, the World Cup, right? They all play.
Yeah.
Then is that happening for the WBC yet, or are we kind of holding back still?
It seems like it is for the position players, but I'm wondering, like, for you guys, why do you think maybe the pitchers are a little bit hesitant to join the squad?
I don't know if it's the hesitancy on the guys that want to play. I know
Sure.
there's a lot of guys that want that experience. I think they just have to be smart. It could be, some of these guys I've seen, like DeGrom's injured right now. There's a few key guys that signed big deals and switch teams and, maybe getting their feet wet. Maybe towards the latter part, it comes around, every 4 years now. So maybe they'll have another opportunity to play, and willingly so. Maybe at the end they'll say, hey, I want to do this just to put another feather in my cap and have that experience. As far as me, I guess getting ready for this was a very a thing that I wanted to just be consistent in my routine. We talk about that a lot here on Mound Visit, but I think if players nowadays, you don't get ready in spring training anymore. That's something of way, way past. If you don't show up ready to go and in shape, you're never really in top baseball shape. That's what spring training is. And for me, even as a pitcher, I used to throw about 6 to 8 bullpens before spring training. Was kind of my bar of what I needed to get ready to go into spring training. Because when you get there, you have 3, 4, 5 more before you're facing hitters in games and stuff like that. But guys are showing up now. You have to train. If you have 3, 4 weeks off in an off season to do stuff, I mean, I don't even. Some guys maybe not even take time off. I know guys that still they train every day, just keeping their body moving because it hurts, man. At the end of the year, right, Lenny?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I used to hurt and be in a fetal position, spooning my dog on the floor after 162, and I can play every day, so that still hurts.
Teams are in constant contact too with players. Hey, what are you doing this month? What are you on? Are you on time with your throwing program and whatnot? And I remember David Wells back in 2006. I was talking to him. He was with the Red Sox, and he told me that the first day he picked up a ball was the first day of spring training. And that's a throwback. He's one of those generational guys that was toward the end of his career. And he said, listen, this is what I've done my whole career. This is what I do, and I can get it done. And he spotted up. I mean, nobody spotted up better than David Wells. So
I'm not changing right now. That's why.
It worked for him.
Has ever worked.
And he's one of those guys I call the freaks. He was one of the freaks that could go out there and get that done. I don't know if he ever ran, right? But he could go out there with that body and just get it done for just the long career, right?
I think he was a cigarette guy, right?
What's that?
He was one of the cigarette guys. Maybe that would go
100%. 100%. He's from that same generation that just knew what he needed to get done to go out there and be successful, and it worked for him. And I get the feeling that if he tried anything different, if David Wells went out there and really worked out hard in an off season and slimmed down, probably wouldn't be the same guy on the field or off, if you know what I mean.
Did you guys?
I can tell you that go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go first. I had
a little story.
Go ahead.
No, just a little story. Like Roberto Cabalisti, which was like 3 times at the Olympics, and he was playing against the selection of Team USA with Robin Ventura and all those monsters, right?
Yeah.
He has an all-time strikeout record in Italy. I have no idea of how many injuries he had his whole career, and he was still playing. And I played with him his last season, right? So I was like a freak of running, practicing every day, be perfect, trying to be too perfect. That was my weakness. And I was his fan. So the first day of spring training with that big team, there was Godo back in 2012. I say, hey, Kaba, nice to meet you. Finally, I play with you. I'm such a huge fan. I have his baseball card. Can you sign it right now? Because I know that we're becoming friends. and was to
Nice.
keep that little thing from my say, yeah, okay. So right now you're practicing with me, and he start, teach me how to improve what I already have it, and then we became friends. And say, okay, come running with me. And he say, I never run in 40 years. What do you say? I said, never. And I'm not starting today. And the first day that I convinced him to run, he got injured.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I feel so guilty. I say, it's not my fault. And he was saying, pitchers don't chase the ball, don't run after the ball, they throw the ball. So there's no reason for a pitcher to run.
He's got a point.
Ever.
That's a good point.
He's got a point.
Should tell that to my college
Yeah.
coach.
Why didn't I
a lot,
think of
yeah.
that when all my coaches told me to go run poles and sprints?
Exactly.
Balls.
Exactly.
Balls.
My God. Well, you were talking about David Wells earlier and how you think that he might not have ever ran in his life. That you guys know that story about his perfect game. Apparently, he was out the night before.
Yeah, he was hungover.
And showed up like at 5 a.m. like still drunk, and they had to get him cleaned up.
Revive
he
him.
threw the worst bullpen of his entire career, he said,
Yeah.
before that game. And then all of a sudden, like as the game went on, started feeling more and more comfortable, and then ended up throwing a perfect game. It's just one of those. It's like that's baseball in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I think.
And he
so.
and he show up wearing the original Babe Ruth hat.
Babe Ruth's hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
So
I forgot about
basically, he
that.
had a $3 million hat with a $20 body and throwing the best game of his life.
Yeah.
It's
Incredible.
incredible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much Budweiser was in that Babe Ruth hat,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, look,
From 1920 and then again in 2000, whatever, right? It's the mixture.
so
It was
team.
fate. Legendary stories, man. I love it. It's
It's what makes the
all
game
good
great.
stuff.
That's baseball.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll round it out with Team Italy plays tomorrow morning, at least for us at
Yes.
6 a.m., 6 Eastern. Masi, for you, I think it's noon, right? You're 6 ahead of us.
No, it's 11 a.m. in the morning. So
11 for you. Okay,
it's
so
gonna
I
be
guess
a long lunchtime.
Wine
So-
and eggs here in America.
yeah, that's right.
We're
So the question
We're
is
gonna
this.
have
I guess we'll finish it
wine.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
gonna
Is-
have pasta. We're gonna have baseball. That's it.
The question is, what is the final score of tomorrow's
let's
game?
get some score predictions before we head out here.
Oof.
I mean, it's tough.
No, come on,
Don't talk.
Masi. Come on.
Don't do that. Don't.
I don't want
Never.
to jinx nothing.
Trust me. Hey, I'm still a pitcher. Never.
We can fill out March
Never.
Madness brackets, but we
Never.
can't give a final score for tomorrow's game.
You will not hear from me.
All right, I'll go.
We're too
I'll
close. We're too close to it. Yeah.
Go. I know.
It's like saying you're throwing
Maybe I
the
shouldn't
perfect
give my
game in the
prediction. I might
seventh
get
inning.
thrown out of
It's
this.
like same thing.
Otani on the mound tomorrow. So it's going to be
Is Otani on the mound tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's gonna be a
I'll give
low-scoring game.
Yeah, I was gonna go. I'm rooting for Italy.
Of course.
Obviously, I have
Of course we
to
are.
at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3-2 Japan.
I was going 3-2 Italy. I'm
Okay.
going the other
All right.
way around.
All right.
It's not going to be against Otani. It'll be against the bullpen, I think. I think Otani I think Team Italy gets 1 run.
Okay.
I think Japan gets 2. And then I think Team
They
Italy
get to their
rallies
pen?
late.
Okay.
I think they rally
All right.
late.
We,
against
I
the
like
we're
bullpen.
your
gonna,
That's my
prediction.
I
prediction.
hope that we. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I'm saying. I hope that we can make to the tiebreak.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
I love it. Grill?
Really, nothing.
Italia, watch out. The Azzurri, they're coming in hot. I mean, listen, every time, what I'm proud of, again, like Cabello said, and the pride that comes out when you put this jersey on, freakish things happen. These guys are being freaks, and they're on a big stage, and it's awesome to watch. And it's not just Italy; it's everywhere. It's from Great Britain to all these teams that are in it. I think it's a wonderful tournament. It's very exciting. We have plenty of olive oil on here. We were trying to get Mike Costanza to join in, but we'll have to get him on another time
There we go.
as we continue BBC for the next round.
That's right.
We can maybe
That's
have
right. That's
another-
right.
Oh wow! Come on, that was so sharp, like so straight. No, please. You're
All
gonna
right,
have
Lenny,
a call
give
tomorrow.
us
I'm
your
gonna wake
prediction
you up.
before you.
Lenny wants
Before-
to give one.
Yeah, let's hear it, Lenny, before we head out.
I'm gonna say 4-2 Paisanos. 4-2.
4-2 Paisan.
Paisans. I love that. I love it. Guys, well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Mound Visit, episode 7. And talk about star-studded episode. We had one here today.
That's right.
It was a big family affair, big Italian family affair. So that was fantastic, guys. Everybody make sure follow us on our Twitter, on our Instagram. Follow the show on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Give the show a rating. Let us know what you think. Send us in some questions. I know we'll have to talk some more Team Italy as we go on. But Top 100 Sports Network is we're coming in hot with the World Baseball Classic coverage. So this is what we like to see. And guys, Mossy, Lenny, I know we had Chris on earlier. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us a little slice of this. This was so much fun.
Hey, Forza should
Thank you for
die.
having me.
Go ahead.
Forza Sudai! Great, Lenny. You still remember that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow. Just
Thanks,
so you
guys.
know, Lenny, 2 years ago, donated my team the belts because we don't have belts.
Oh, that's so
So,
nice.
and he sent us a video message to the kids to say, Forza Sudai. I said, what, Lenny, what are you talking about? How do you came out with that?
If I
Great.
get a better contract in my career, I'd have bought the full uniforms, okay? But the belts are my that's my limit right there, okay? I'll get you guys some belts.
we just need coffee and wine. That's fine.
All right,
That's
perfect.
it. That's it.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys again so much for tuning in. And all our viewers out there, we'll talk to you guys next week.